Welcome back, everybody, to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise here on MLB The Show 20. As today we continue with the NLCS here, games 3 and 4 against the Washington Nationals. Last episode we had games 1 and 2 and ended up winning both of them, 7-3 and 5-4. Our Pirates are 2 wins away from advancing to the World Series. But remember last year when these two teams faced off in the NLCS, Washington started up 3-0. And we came back and won, so you got to keep that in mind. This series is far from over until the final pitch is thrown. Pablo Cairo is still injured. He may be able to return pretty soon, so I would certainly monitor that. Santiago Osuna will be starting in Game 3. Jordan Yamamoto will be starting in Game 4. Yamamoto with an excellent Game 4 performance in the NLDS to help us beat Milwaukee in that series. So we have a chance to advance to the World Series today. We have to go 2-0 in Washington. It's going to be challenging. And as you can see, the Angels lead the Rays 2-0 in the ALCS. So if things hold the form, we could have a Pirates-Angels World Series. Although that would be jumping the gun. We still have plenty of baseball left to be played in order to determine who will be in the Fall Classic. So let's get this one underway. Game 3 action here as the Pirates take on the Washington Nationals. The 32-year-old left-hander Melvin Pruitt will be on the mound today for the Nationals. 6 1/3 innings, did not allow a single run, and got the win in Game 3 of the NLDS against the Padres. Let's see what he can do here in a pivotal game for the Nationals. Wander Franco leading things off as this one goes into foul territory, and it looks like it will be caught at the wall. Cody Bellinger runs into the wall in order to make the play. An incredible grab by Bellinger. Here is Benny Lane. He is hitting in the 2-hole today as he strikes out on a high fastball. Nice pitch from Pruitt. Josh Bell now up at the dish. 1-1 pitch as this one is grounded to second. And it will bounce past the glove of Scope for a single. So the Pirates now have themselves a base runner with 2 away for O'Neal Cruz, who crushes this one deep. And to right center it goes out of the ballpark. A 2-run blast for O'Neal Cruz, and the Pirates are quickly on the board as they lead this one 2-0. A hot start here for the offense. O'Neal Cruz's first home run of the postseason. Cruz has been pretty quiet in the playoffs, I will admit, but a big home run there to get Game 3 off well. Santiago Osuna, the 21-year-old righty on the mound today for the Pirates. He did not pitch well in Game 3 of the NLDS against the Brewers. That game was a Pittsburgh loss. The final game they've lost in the playoffs thus far, as the first batter of the game, Trey Turner, with an infield single. We know Turner provides a ton of danger on the base passes for the opposing teams, as the Pirates are actually going to challenge the call. The manager does not think Turner was safe, and as you can see, it's very close, but the ball appears to be in Andujar's glove just before Turner's foot hits the bag. The umpires would agree. The call is going to be overturned, and the challenge is successful. Turner is out at first. The Nationals manager just staring blank into space. He is very confused. Runner on second, 2 away now for Bellinger, who lines out to short. O'Neal Cruz with the grab. Good first inning of action for the Pirates. They lead things 2-0. Let's advance to the top of the 3rd inning now. Remains 2-0. Santiago Osuna leading off the inning, and he's actually going to get a base hit. The Pirates pitchers have actually hit the ball well thus far in the NLCS. Wander Franco now up. He hits that one to deflect off of Pruitt's arm, and it'll go for an infield single. So the Pirates already have 2 early base runners on with nobody out. Pruitt a little bit shaken up there, as you would expect. He would decide to toughen it out and stay in the game. Will it pay off? As here's Benny Lang. The following batter, it drops. Literally, the left fielder dropped it. We have some base running confusion. So Ling is going to be out at second. MLB The Show's base running is still kind of broken. And that is how the Nationals will get the first out of the inning. But the Pirates do still have runners in scoring position, as Josh Bell will be up to the plate now. 1-2 pitch. This one is going to be grounded to Scope, who makes the play to first. But Santiago Osuna scores. The Pirates now lead this game with a comfortable 3-0 lead. Heads up base running there by Osuna as we go to the bottom of the 3rd now. James McCann, the catcher, strikes out. It's been a very good performance for Santiago Osuna, not only at the plate, but I mean, he is absolutely dealing at the moment. 2 away for Turner. This one will drop just fair. For most batters, that would be a single, but for Trey Turner, because he's built different, that will be a double. Now the Nationals have a runner in scoring position, and a base runner should easily drive him in, but it does not look like that'll happen. Victor Robles hits that one into left, but it will be caught by Dylan Carlson, so the score remains 3-0. So far, so good here in Game 3 of the NLCS for the Pirates. As we go to the 4th, runner on first, nobody out for Francisco Mejia. Grounds this one to Yandy Diaz. To Scope, to Vogelbach. 5-4-3 double play. The Nationals infield has more chemistry than a science project on that play as they are successfully able to turn 2. Bottom 4 for Bellinger. He's just a window shopper. Stay with me, kids, because he's just looking. 2 away now for the former Pirate Yandy Diaz. The 3-2. That would have been a ball had he looked at it, but he swings and misses. Back-to-back strikeouts there for Osuna as we go to the 5th inning now. 2-1 and 2 out for Josh Bell as this one will be weakly hit into right. Bellinger makes the play, so the score remains 3-0. I wouldn't be surprised if Pruitt's day comes to an end after that. Maybe they'll keep him in, maybe they won't. I guess we'll have to see how things go here in the bottom of the 5th. See if the 9-hole hitter ever comes up. The 9-hole spot is 4th in the lineup for this inning, so if the Nationals get a base runner, then they will probably have to choose if they want to add a pinch hitter or keep Pruitt, but it doesn't look like that's going to be an issue as Santiago Osuna opens up the inning with a pair of strikeouts. Scope and Vogelbach go down swinging, and then James McCann gets this one off of Benny Lang's glove. He flips it to Osuna at first for a 1-2-3 inning. 5 shutout innings for Santiago Osuna after allowing 5 runs in 5 innings in Game 3 of the NLDS. So let's go to the 6th inning. The Nationals would decide to keep Melvin Pruitt into the game, and that decision would pay off as it's a 1-2-3 inning. That one was flown out into center, caught by Robles off of the bat of Francisco Mejia. The score will remain 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. The pinch hitter, Luis Garcia, will draw a walk, so the Nationals now have themselves a runner on base for the speedy Trey Turner. This one is hit to short. The throw by Cruz is not in time. And the Nationals open up the 6th inning with a pair of speedy base runners on base and a prime opportunity to cut this lead down. Robles now grounded to short, to Franco, to Lang, and the Pirates turn 2. 6-4-3 double play. That's gigantic for Pittsburgh, but the Nationals still have a runner 90 feet away from home with Juan Soto up as it's a dribbler. Broken bat, the throw by Andujar is in time. And Pittsburgh gets out of a jam. Score remains 3-0. Santiago Osuna continues to dominate. And, I mean, his pitch count is fairly low. So as long as he continues to play well, he might make it through the 9th inning. Tanner Rainey will enter for the Nationals his 6th postseason appearance of the year. He's been busy. Santiago Osuna up with a runner on and 1 out. He's going to go for the bunt. And it looks like it'll work to perfection. As the runner advances to second, Osuna was nearly safe there. And the pitchers continuing to do damage at the plate here for the Pirates. Wander Franco now up 3-2, and this one is going to be weakly popped up to the catcher. McCann with the play, and that will end the inning. Wander Franco has not nearly been as good here in the NLCS as he was in the NLDS, which doesn't say much because he was so good in that NLDS series against Milwaukee. Bottom 7, quick inning for Osuna. He gets scoped to strike out. And with 2 innings to play, the score remains 3-0, and there's no sign of slowing down for Osuna. Yimi Garcia will enter for the Nationals. Pittsburgh trying to add some potential insurance runs here as Benny Lang opens things up. Full count, and this one is going to be in the left center gap for extra bases. The Japanese sensation rounding first. He will head to second safely for a no-out double, and the Pirates had themselves a runner in scoring position and a prime opportunity to break this game wide open. Here's Josh Bell now 1-1. This one is crushed deep in a right, and this one is gone. 2-run blast off for Josh Bell, his 2nd postseason home run. We all know his first home run, of course, was the walk-off in Game 5. And now, speaking of 5, that's how many runs the Pirates are beating Washington by, is it's 5-0. The Nationals really have to get things going here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. They do get a base runner. That's the pinch hitter, Chris Bryant. Yes, Bryant is on their bench. Why, I don't really know. Doesn't really matter, as Trey Turner will ground out to short. Cruz flips it to second, and the Pirates are 1 inning away from taking a 3-0 series lead here in the NLCS. Let's see if they can do it. Ryan Harper, no relations to Bryce, will enter the game for the Nationals as they just try to keep this game at 5-0 and hope for a prayer in the bottom of the ninth. Nobody out for Andujar. He rips that one over the head of Harper for a single. And the Pirates have a pair of runners on base with nobody out. So this inning could get ugly for the Nationals as the former Pirate, Jace Fry, will now enter the game. 2-1 and 1 out here for Wander Franco. This one will be singled into right for a single. Osuna slides to second. Considering Santiago Osuna got an opportunity to bunt, looks like the Pirates will keep him in the game for the bottom of the ninth. 6-0 now your score. Here's Josh Bell with a double in the corner. Both runners will score, and the Pirates will now make it 8-0, as it really does not look like the Nationals are going to come back. The Pirates might be wise to just take Osuna out. Hope nothing crazy happens, as O'Neal Cruz will fly out to first. Good play by Vogelbach. So yeah, the Nationals are living on a prayer at the moment. They need a gigantic bottom of the ninth inning. Otherwise, this series will be 3-0. Nationals starting to start it off well as they get a pair of base runners on with nobody out. Keep in mind. Let's see what they can do to continue this inning, as that was Juan Soto with the hit. Runners on the corners, one away now for Yandy Diaz. He rips a single into right, and the shutout is unfortunately over. 8 1/3 innings it took for the Nationals to get on the scoreboard, as it's now 8-1. Scope now 1-1, rips a single into right, and the bases are loaded as Juan Soto will not test the arm of Dylan Carlson. And this game is not over. I mean, if the Nationals can just get some damage off of the tired Santiago Osuna as he walks Vogelbach. Soto scores. It's now 8-2, and at this point, Pittsburgh has to cut their losses and make the pitching change. Carl Edwards Jr. will enter. As here's McCann, 3-2, bases loaded, 1 out. It's grounded to Edwards. The double play is a success. And the Pittsburgh Pirates will take Game 3 of the NLCS by the final score of 8-2, and Pittsburgh is now 1 win away from advancing to their second straight World Series. What a performance on the mound by Santiago Osuna. 8 shutout innings. The 9th inning got a little bit dicey there. He allowed 2. Possibly could have allowed more had Edwards not been able to get out of that inning successfully. 3 hits and 5 RBIs for Josh Bell. O'Neal Cruz also went deep. Franco with the other RBI. Osuna, obviously, with the well-deserved win. He allowed 8 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The Nationals just could not hit Osuna, and a lot of their damage came in that 9th inning. Melvin Pruitt gets the loss. He wasn't terrible. The bullpen was actually worse than Pruitt, to be fair. So that brings us to Game 4. If Pittsburgh just wins one of these final 4 games here in the NLCS, they will advance to the Fall Classic here in 2024. The Angels would end up taking Game 3, so both conference championships are looking like potential sweeps here. But obviously we saw what happened last year in the NLCS between the Pirates and Nationals. Washington started up 3-0. Pirates won the next 4 games to win the series. So as I've been preaching, you cannot count either team out until the final pitch is thrown in this game. The Nationals know they have to win it. Although it's not a must-win game for Pittsburgh, they are bringing Pablo Cairo back in the lineup. Cairo is still a little bit banged up. However, Cairo has said that he wants to come back into the lineup, and Pittsburgh will allow him to, although he's still not fully healthy, and the Pirates don't really need him, considering they're leading the series 3-0. The Nationals will be placing all of their hope in the right arm of Eric Fetty. Fetty had a pretty good first postseason start, helping the Nationals defeat the Padres in the NLDS. As here is Pablo Cairo returning from injury with a single in the left. Cairo got hurt in Game 5 of the NLDS against Milwaukee, and although the lineup has done just fine without him, he has certainly been missed, and it's good to have him return. Cairo's not fully healthy, but he wanted to play. The Pirates will let him. If he does start to limp and feels slower than normal, then Pittsburgh will take him out of the game. Unfortunately, the Pirates are unable to score in this inning as Carlson grounds out to short. Let's go to the bottom of the first. Jordan Yamamoto on the mound for the Pirates. He pitched in an elimination game, Game 4 of the NLDS against Milwaukee, and he pitched really well, 6 1/3 innings, allowing 2 runs and getting the win, as Trey Turner will strike out to open things up. The Nationals have to get Turner on base, because whenever he's on, problems can arise for Pittsburgh. Juan Soto now up with 2 outs. He hits a double into left center field, so the Nationals have themselves a runner in scoring position, a huge opportunity. The problem is Cody Bellinger is up, and Bellinger has been pretty bad in the NLCS. He does walk. Okay, now you do kind of have to worry. Here's Yandy Diaz, 2-2 pitch. It's a weak grounder. Mejia does not go after it. Yamamoto has to instead. What a play. Jordan Yamamoto had to charge after that ball in order to get the runner out. He was just able to, and the score remains tied at 0 through 1. Top of the second, runner on base, 1 out here for Miguel Andujar. This one's grounded to Vogelbach. The throw to short is overthrown, so everybody is safe. The double play turns into a 0 play, and now both runners are on safely. Now we got runners on the corners. 2 outs for Pablo Cairo, who hits a single into right. Runner scores, and Pittsburgh will take a 1-0 lead. Hot start today for Cairo. He looks better than ever. Already 2 for 2 with a pair of base hits and an RBI. Bottom 2, Daniel Vogelbach will strike out. Following batter, James McCann rips this one to third. The throw from Andujar to Franco over to Benny Lang for the double play. Wander Franco got tripped up there in a little bit of a scuffle. Whoever that base runner was kind of made a dirty play there, I will say. Top of the third, score remains 1-0. Nice play by Fetty to get out of the inning. And Eric Fetty's had a pretty good game. That 1 run that has been allowed was not his fault. That was because of the error from Vogelbach. Bottom 3, Robles strikes out, and it looks like we've got another dominant starting pitching performance thus far from Pittsburgh. We saw Osuna kick butt in Game 3. So far, Yamamoto's doing the same here in Game 4. As Miguel Andujar with a single. Again, 2 runners on, nobody out here as it's Jordan Yamamoto. Gonna lay down the bunt, and it totally backfires. The Nationals are able to turn 2 on that play. A huge sequence there for Washington as Pablo Cairo is up. Cairo has been incredible today, and he will ground out to short. So, unable to make it 3 for 3, but still a good game thus far for Cairo as it remains 1-0 in a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Whoever really breaks out on offense the rest of the way is probably going to be the team who wins this game. Here is Scope, grounds it to third, and the Pirates get out of the inning fairly easily. Jordan Yamamoto continues to be very impressive here through 4 innings, only allowing 2 hits. Top of the 5th, 2 outs for Benny Lang, and this one's going to drop into right for extra bases. Lang, shop and gap, he will slide into second for a 2-out double, and Pittsburgh now has a runner in scoring position. Dylan Carlson now up at the plate for 1-1. This one is at high, pretty deep into straightaway center. At the track of the wall goes Robles, and it's caught. That one nearly went over the fence. If the Pirates were able to get a home run there, man, things would be looking bleak for the Nationals. Although still, things are looking bleak. They're down 3-0 in the series, and their offense has declined to show up. Fitty now up, 3-2. He hits this one nicely into left at the wall. What a play by Dylan Carlson. I don't think he was going to get to that one. Another 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Yamamoto, who continues to dominate. Who's had a better performance, Game 3 Osuna or Game 4 Yamamoto? Because they've both been incredible. Let's move to the top of the 6th now. Francisco Mejia with 1 out, bounces that one in front of a wall. Mejia sliding into second safely for a double. Francisco Mejia is a very quiet 3 for 3 today. I know he's kind of struggled in the postseason, but he's played a darn good game today. The following batter, Miguel Andujar, goes down looking. That's a huge out for Eric Fetty. The Nationals needed that one, and they got it. So now the only way Mejia will score is off a base hit by Jordan Yamamoto. The pitchers have hit the ball well in the NLCS as Yamamoto weakly grounds it to third. The throw from Luis Garcia is in time to get the out. I didn't mention this, but Yandy Diaz got hurt in the 2nd inning trying to field a ball, and that's why Garcia is in the game at third base. Bottom 6, Trey Turner going to open things up. That one goes over the glove Then Duhar for a single. The Nationals needed this. Their speediest base runner on base with nobody out. This is a prime opportunity to potentially tie or take the lead. Soto now up for 1-2, swinging a miss. It is a wild pitch. Turner was already stealing second anyway, but still a strikeout there for Jordan Yamamoto. And now the Nationals are going to need the bat of Cody Bellinger to come up clutch. Bellinger still with only one hit in the entire postseason. That will remain here as he grounds out to Benny Lang. And it remains 1-0 through 6 innings. The Pirates are 3 innings away from advancing to a World Series, but this game is far from over. Tanner Rainey will enter here for the Nationals, his 7th relief appearance of the postseason. Runner on and nobody out here for Franco, as this one is weakly hit into shallow left. What a catch by Trey Turner to get the first out of the inning. Juan Soto was not really hustling for that ball. Turner had to do cleanup duty. Benny Lang now up 2-2. He swings and misses with a high fastball. Good inning of work from Tanner Rainey. And the Pirates, despite getting plenty of base runners, they have 9 hits today. They're just unable to drive them in. The Nationals, on the other hand, just can't get anyone on base because Jordan Yamamoto is dominating. Weak hit by Scope. He was nearly safe at first, but Jordan Yamamoto makes a really nice defensive play. 2 gone now for the big boy, Vogelbach, as he completely beats the shift. For most batters, that'd be a double, but since he's super slow, that'd be a single. Added on with a bad throw there from Carlson. Maybe it would be a triple if he was a little bit faster. 3-2 now for McCann. He draws a walk. The Nationals have 2 runners on and 2 outs. A huge at-bat here for the pinch hitter, Chris Bryant. And it's a weak pop out to the catcher. Francisco Mejia under it. He makes the play. And the Pittsburgh Pirates are now 2 innings away from advancing to their 2nd straight World Series. They're only up by 1, though. This game is far from over. Don't pop the champagne bottles yet. Roberto Velez will enter here for the Nationals. His 3rd postseason appearance has not done overly well in his first 2, as O'Neal Cruz gonna rip a single into right with 1 out, as that one scrapes over the head of Velez. And now the Pirates have a runner on base. I feel like the Pittsburgh Pirates have gotten a runner on in like every inning. They just haven't been able to drive them in, and that will continue here. And Duhar grounds out to second. Scope flips it to Turner. So now the Nationals, can they get something going here in the bottom of the 8th inning? Otherwise, they're going to need a miracle bottom of the 9th. Yamamoto remains in the game. Trey Turner opened things up with a grounder to Ling. It's awfully close, but he is out. A very lucky defensive play there by the Pirates. Robles now up, the 2-1. That would have been a ball. Instead, he weakly hits it. Mejia, another close call, but Pittsburgh gets him again. So now here is Juan Soto. If the Nationals want to start a rally, it's going to be because Juan Soto does something, and he does not do something. Instead, it's a weak hit to O'Neal Cruz, and the Pirates are now 1 inning away from advancing to their 2nd straight Fall Classic, but it still remains 1-0. Yimi Garcia will return here in the top of the 9th. Garcia struggled in Game 3, and he's been pretty poor in the playoffs entirely. Pablo Cairo, 3-2, lines this one into left center for a hit. Pablo Cairo had a pretty good first game back from injury. He went 3 for 4 with a walk, so he's reached base 4 out of the possible 5 times, and he's the only player to drive in a run today. But that might change here. The following batter, Wander Franco with a 2-run shot into right. The Pirates needed some insurance going into the bottom of the 9th, and they get just that. Franco's 5th home run of the postseason, first to the NLCS, and the Pirates are firmly in the driver's seat. Can they hold on and get back to the World Series? 1 out now for Josh Bell, the 3-2. Bell hits this one pretty nicely, deep at the wall, and it is going to be caught. So it's not going to quite be 4-0. The Nationals are very lucky there. That was Victor Robles, the rangy center fielder, who made the grab. So now here is Benny Lang, the 2-2 pitch from Garcia, and this one is hit high and deep into right. It looks like Bellinger should be under it, and he just lets it drop. No effort there from Cody Bellinger. I guess he's a little bit distracted or distraught. I don't really know. That'll be a double for Benny Lang. Let's take a look at that one again. Bellinger could have easily made a play there. I don't know what he's doing. He was lollygagging out there in the outfield. And luckily for the Nationals, it does not look like it will cost them a run. Dylan Carlson grounds out to short. So there you go. A 2-run shot from Franco as it's 3-0 going into the bottom of the 9th inning. The Pirates put in a pinch hitter for Jordan Yamamoto, meaning his day is done. Pittsburgh saw what happened the last game. Santiago Osuna was dominant through 8 innings. Kind of struggled in the 9th inning, so the Pirates don't want that to happen again. The closer, Jose Alvarado, is in. As here's the first batter, Bellinger grounds it out to second. And the Pirates are now 2 outs away from advancing to the World Series. Here is the next batter, Luis Garcia. Weak fly out into right. Cairo under it. And now all Pittsburgh needs is one more out. The season will come down to the veteran second baseman, Jonathan Scope. The 3-1 from Alvarado, an outside fastball for ball 4. Okay, the Nationals have a runner on base. Let's see if they can capitalize. Daniel Vogelbach is now up 1-2, swinging a miss. The Pirates are going back to the World Series for a second straight year. What a ride it has been. The Pittsburgh Pirates have been mediocre for decades on end, and now they make the World Series 2 years in a row. They lost the Fall Classic last year in 6 games to the Cleveland Indians, and now they get another chance to win the World Series for the Pirate faithful. It's been an incredible season thus far, 108-54, the best record in baseball, an incredible NLDS against the Brewers that needed a walk-off home run from Josh Bell in the final game when the Pirates were down to their final strike. In the NLCS, it was much more smooth sailing, a sweep of the Washington Nationals led by some great starting pitching performances in these past 2 games by Santiago Osuna and Jordan Yamamoto. Yamamoto, your player of the game today. 8 shutout innings from the Hawaii native, and the Pirates are back in the World Series, baby. The Pirates had 13 hits today. I mean, the team hit the ball well. They just couldn't drive guys in. The only RBIs were the single from Cairo in the 2nd and the home run by Franco in the 9th. Jordan Yamamoto, 8 shutout innings. He was incredible. Alvarado did his job in the 9th to get the save. The Nationals just could not hit the ball today. Eric Fetty gets the loss. He was really good, though. 5 innings, 0 earned runs. The only run he allowed was because of the error, and Garcia is the one who allowed the 2-run shot in the 9th. So there you go. The Pirates will be taking on either the Angels or the Rays in the World Series. The Angels currently lead the ALCS 3-0, so we'll probably be facing the Angels, but who knows. We're going to do this with Simcast. It's making me use their team, so we're just going to use their Tampa Bay. Not that it really matters all that much. Rays lead it 3-1 at the moment. Good 7 innings here from Caleb Smith. Let's see if they can hold on. And it looks like that will be the case. The Rays keep the series alive. They win Game 4 3-1. On in Game 5, the Angels with a 4-run 3rd inning. Jack Flaherty is the one starting for the Rays, by the way. A dominant performance here from the Angels starting pitching. The former Pirate, Julio Urias, with 8 shutout innings. Actually, 7 shutout innings, excuse me. So, there you go. The Pirates and the Angels will face off in the World Series. The 2 unlikely teams are in here. Obviously, you guys know our Pirates fairly well, but let me introduce you guys to the Angels. Everything starts and ends with this guy, Mike Trout, the best player in baseball, now 32 years old. Trout finally gets his shot to compete for a World Series. Let's see if he can do it. The Angels have multiple former Pirates in their starting rotation, including Julio Urias, who was let go last year by the Pirates. He's had a bounce-back season this year for the Angels. They also have Joe Musgrove, who has not pitched yet in the postseason, but it looks like he will get to pitch in the World Series. They also have Chris Sale as well, who's a little bit banged up, but he should be fine to return shortly. They have a few other good starters as well. Their bullpen is one of the better ones in baseball, with Trevor Hildenberger, Ty Buttrey, Kenyon Middleton, Taylor Rogers. A catcher, they have Adley Rutschman, who was traded early in the series for Joe Adell with the Orioles. I believe Adell is now with Toronto. Anthony Rendon highlights the infield. He is 33 years old, still very good. They also have Sheldon there. I don't think I can say his name on YouTube, but we're just going to call him Sheldon. This Angels roster is really good, but I'm expecting a competitive World Series. Pablo Cairo, by the way, is fully healthy. So that will conclude today's episode. Next time, we got Game 1 of the 2024 World Series between your Pittsburgh Pirates and the Los Angeles Angels. I hope you guys are excited. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.